Let's now move on to some front pages of newspapers from across the world. Of course, we begin in Nigeria with This Day newspaper. Now, This Day today is leading with some boardroom drama happening at Firstbank. Excuse me. Now, this report shares how shareholders are demanding an extraordinary general meeting in EGM and want Otedola, Omodayo-Owotuga, ousted. The details of the story is that a group of shareholders with 10% of the company's shares yesterday formally requested the company to call an EGM with the ousting of the FBN chairman, Femi Otedola, at the top of the agenda, as well as the deputy chief executive of Geregu Power PLC, Mr. Julius Omodayo-Owotuga. The allegation is that since former CBN Governor Emefiele influenced Otedola's acquisition of shares to emerge as the chairman of FBN, he has been moving in quite a... He has amassed all of the power and has been acting, shall I say, almost in an authoritarian way, according to this report, in trying to make sure that things are done in a way that pleases him in the bank. That's according to this report on the front page of This Day newspaper. Now we move to Punch newspaper, which leads with the federal government's 9 billion naira e-border project fails to stop bandits, illegal aliens, an analysis of the multi-billion naira border surveillance systems that were launched in 2019, but unfortunately have not been able to stop the influx of especially bandits from some bordering states. So, there's a question. We're talking about the performance of our budget. 9 billion naira spent on an e-border project, surveillance systems, and nothing to show for it in essence, as we see that the borders remain porous. Now to Vanguard newspaper, where states race to build airports as hunger bites harder. So this is a report that talks about how over 118 billion naira has been spent on airports that are in essence not viable. So the report specifically refers to states like Jigawa, which have spent $55.4 million in building an airport. But of course, we know that most people are still flying in through Kano, as of course the proximity is minimal. Now to The Guardian newspaper. The Guardian is focusing, again, this is about budget performance, anxiety as execution of the federal government's free Cesarean section initiative stalls. Now, of course, this initiative was announced in November of last year and was supposed to allow for free Cesarean for the delivery in the delivery process for pregnant women in healthcare centers across Nigeria. It said that the initiative will cost the government 200,000 to 300,000 naira per delivery. However, pregnant women and care workers are still unaware of the modalities. Nobody knows how it's supposed to work. Nobody knows where they're supposed to register to be able to access this free initiative. So again, we question, when will it happen? Where will we get to see this project, this incredible initiative delivered? Now to the New Telegraph. The New Telegraph is focusing on the telco sector and says Telecom's tariff to rise, but not 100%, says Minister. Now, of course, this conversation was started by, of course, our very own Rutos when he interviewed the CEO of MTN. And the CEO of MTN said that, they would like to propose a 100% tariff. And this is just a clarification that 100% is not going to happen, so people shouldn't be alarmed. However, a rise is going to take place. So that's what this report focuses on. So just to warn you all out there, your tariffs are about to go up. Now to the Daily Nation of Kenya. Daily Nation on Kenya is continuing to follow the relationship, or rather the breakdown in relations between William Ruto and his former deputy, Gachagua. So it says, inside Ruto's plan to tame Gachagua, we know that all gloves are off since Gachagua was removed from his position. We know that he was also attacked. His convoy was attacked towards the end of last year. And he has become a very vocal critic of the William Ruto administration. Of course, William Ruto is said to be looking for a way to tame him and calm him down and stop him from exposing all of the secrets of his administration. Lastly, we head to the Financial Times, lastly, we look at our international papers. Of course, the leading image is of those fires that we've already spoken about on the Palisades. But the lead story there is Europe's leaders warn Trump against meddling with its sovereign borders, which, of course, Dr. Abati had already gone into detail with discussing. So those are the front pages of today's newspapers.
Right, thank you. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to discuss. I'm sure during Rutos' segment, a few stories jump out at us. For me, I would have loved to discuss this airport saga and the fact that governors are wasting money on projects that are not viable when that amount of money can be channeled. Earlier, we talked about capital projects, and I said it's not just about infrastructure, it's also ensuring it's infrastructure that meets the needs of the people that you're serving. But, you can find the report in Vanguard detailed.